Is it ready? Okay. Welcome, everyone. We're back here today. Today we're going to do a listening and speaking lesson, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Listening and speaking practice with, can you read that to me? Amor? Yes. What's that mean in Spanish? Do you know? Love and eternal. Yeah, eternal love. And so eventually we're going to be watching a video about this, or actually it's an audio. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to listen to a recording. Now it's going to be interesting. Miss Kinney is interviewed by a 5th grade student about her pathway to being a teacher. So I want you to think about what you know. So who's Miss Kinney? You. Yep, your teacher. And the speakers, we know one of the speakers is who? Me or me, right? The teacher. The other speaker is going to be a student in 5th grade, and her voice is really soft. So I might have to turn it up. So here's the interview. Here it is. So we're just listening for the gist. The gist is like what it's overall about.
I'm interviewing Miss Kinney today to discuss how she became a teacher and how she feels about her career choice. My name is Marley, and I am one of Miss Kinney's 5th grade reading students. Have you always wanted to be a teacher?
I thought that I would be a computer programmer, actually. In high school, I started a 2-year program to pursue this dream. However, I decided I didn't want to be stuck in an office with a computer screen. I was a people person and needed more interaction. I met with my high school guidance counselor and I said, hey, is it awful that I'm changing my mind? I think I really would rather be a teacher. I was worried about my parents being okay with me changing my plans. I love learning, and when I was a kid, I used to play school in my parents' basement. I would have a made-up classroom with kids with crazy names like Minty Green and Sally Socks, write my own lesson plans and pretend to teach. I loved acting and being on stage too. Teachers need to be interesting and exciting, and so I thought I could put my dramatic tendencies to use. My parents were very understanding, and they were okay with me changing from computer science to teaching. I was the first member of my family to attend college. I graduated with a degree in elementary education, and I could teach grades 1 through 8.
How do you feel about being a teacher?
I am proud to be a teacher, and I look forward to coming to school every day. There's always something new, challenging, and interesting. The best part is that I get to see my students achieve and learn. I dearly love teaching at Park Street and love my 5th graders.
What advice would you have for someone choosing a career?
Follow your heart, and don't be afraid to change your mind if one career does not work out.
All right, see? Not see. Can you see us?
No.
So it's hear, think, wonder. So talk to each other, your partners. What did you hear? What did you think? What do you wonder? Go ahead and talk a little bit, and then we're going to share out.
Me and another student, I wonder where they did it.
Where we had the interview? Is that what you wonder?
I know what the student is.
All right, anybody want to share out? What did you hear?
A student and Miss Kinney.
Uh-huh. And you wondered, I heard you say you wondered where we had the interview. Is that what you wondered? Where do you think we had it? At my house, here? Yeah, definitely here at the school in the workroom. And what did you think?
It was cool
Why was it cool?
because the student was interviewing.
Yeah. Did you recognize the student?
No.
It was who was it?
Marley.
Marley. Did anybody else have a wondering or a thought? What did you anybody else want to share out? Did you? Okay, well that's why I have you with your partner. So if you don't feel comfortable sharing out, you can share with your partner. So we just listened to the gist of the lesson. This is what we're going to do today. So today your first objective is learning to summarize. I will summarize the main points made by the speaker with supporting evidence. Our second objective is I will identify key details from information presented orally. Our third objective is I will share personal experiences relating to the speaker's message. And I'm going to explain those more as we go. Does anybody, can you read this question with me?
What is a podcast?
Do you know what a podcast is? Gonzalo?
It's like a video.
It's like a video, but do you, yeah,
Like if they're interviewed?
like they're being interviewed. And you don't really always see their faces. You only, what? Hear. Because you have to listen more intently when you don't see their faces because you don't get that feedback. Okay, so a podcast actually is broken into, can you clap out those syllables with me? Podcast. And pod means playable on demand, meaning that you can play it whenever you feel like it. And cast means that you can what? See it. So that is a podcast. You can only hear it. This is the podcast we're going to do today. It's an interview. We're going to learn more about it in a second. So we're going to learn about that. We're going to listen to the podcast and do various things that I mentioned with the objectives. Can you read this question to me? What does audio mean? What does audio mean? Anybody know?
It's like a voice message.
Yeah, it's like you can only hear. So it's sound only. People are not film talking. You only hear them. What are key details? Anybody? All right, let's take a look. Information about the... Right, the key details tell about the main idea or topic. Can you read this to me?
What is summarize mean?
Okay, what is it? Yep, that's right, the big idea. And I like this little acronym, SOM. Can you read that with me?
Shorter than the text. Use your own words. Main ideas only.
Good. Let's review this.
What is evidence?
Anybody know what evidence is? Gonzalo?
Evidence is like fact.
Facts? What do you think, Daphne? Supports your answer. Those are great answers. Let's read this together. See if we were right. Evidence. Something that shows something else is true. I think what you said summed it up as well. Okay, let's read this one.
What does it mean to share personal information or experience?
Anybody have an idea what that means?
Third person.
Pardon?
Third person.
It's third person? Anybody else? Connections, it shows how you relate to the speaker. See this lady sitting here? So she's heard a podcast and then she thinks of different topics like, oh yeah, they were talking about playing instruments. I play the saxophone. They were talking about their favorite pet. Ooh, I have a cat. So they think about how they identify with the podcast or the podcast reminds them of something in their own life. So we're going to do that today too. All right, these are some good listening strategies. So before listening to Miss Kinney's podcast, we thought about what we knew about the topic. We talked about the speakers. Who are the two speakers? Me and Marley. Mm-hmm. And sometimes in the podcast, there'll be a little caption that describes what it's about. What's a caption? Do you guys remember what a caption is? Where is a caption usually located? It's located where? Under a picture. So these podcasts, when they come up, they sometimes have a caption. That can give us more clues too. While we're listening, we're going to stop along the way and ask questions. Can you help me read these question words?
Who, what, when, how, where.
We're going to listen more than once. The first time we listen just to get the gist. The gist is what it's kind of about. The second time we listen for
Details.
and the third time we listen for
Feelings and
Right. We may not always get time to listen 3 times with this video because we can't go over our time limit. But we would normally listen to it 3 times. After listening, this is what we're going to do. Can you read the first bullet point?
Review what happened in the story. Listen to important details. Review the facts that you have learned. Summarize. Read.
How did it make you feel? All right, so those are the 3 things that we're going to be doing today. So we already listened to Miss Kinney's podcast, and you see on your desk you kind of have a gist paper. Do you see the first box that says teacher? Who is the teacher that was interviewed?
Miss Kinney.
All right, so in that who, go ahead and write Miss Kinney. K-I-N-N, what?
Wait, is
Yep.
it an R?
All right, right there. Then, down below, there's another who listed. Who's the second who? And it says position. What position is she? What is she? Student. Very good. Fill in student. So this is just the overview. What was it mostly about?
A student asking the teacher how it was
Asking questions?
She asked me questions. Good, I like that.
She asked you how did you make it to be a teacher?
How did I decide to be a teacher? Anything that you put is fine there. I want it to be your own. So go ahead and fill out the what.
Was it about what we were talking about?
You can talk to your partner too. What's that?
Maybe what we were talking about is just
Yeah, just what you said is perfect. So what was this interview about? What did Marley ask me about?
Marley asked how you became a teacher.
Yeah, how I became a teacher. What steps did I take? Remember in the beginning, did I want to be a teacher?
No.
No, I wanted to be in what?
Computer.
Computers.
Really?
Yeah, we're going to listen to it again. That's why the first time you listen to something, sometimes you don't get all of the facts, do you? So the first time you listen to it, you're just trying to find out who's talking. Basically, what is it about? And we learned it was about an interview. Now, do you see where it says where, why, and how? You don't have to fill that out right now, but you could if we had more time. We can just talk about it because Gonzalo already answered where. Where did it occur? Was it in the school, at my house?
It's cool.
In the school. Why do you think I did it?
So,
Ooh, that's a good question. Why would I have an interview with Marley?
she has a nice voice.
Oh, I picked her because she's got a nice voice. Was it interesting to you? Yeah. There's really not a how, is there? You don't have to write anything more on that. I just wanted you to get an idea. Turn to the next page, and you have 2 choices. You can fill out, we're going to listen to it the second time, and we're going to listen for some of these things. Read these questions over with your partner. Just read them together while I get the video set up.
She changed her mind because
She decided to become a teacher because
not that she is a teacher, she felt blank.
blank.
Now, if you find out something else that's not on there, you can add it, okay? You can add notes anywhere you want, or you can use those. It's your choice. So let's say, I want to put another detail. If you want to write another key detail, you can just write it on the back. So we're going to listen to it again, and it's kind of like a scavenger hunt. You're going to listen for these things.
My name is Miss Kinney today to discuss how she became a teacher and how she feels about her career choice. My name is Marley, and I am one of Miss Kinney's 5th grade reading students. I've always wanted to be a teacher.
I thought that I would be a computer programmer, actually. In high school, I started a 2-year program to pursue this dream. However, I decided I didn't want to be stuck in an office with a computer screen. I was a people person and needed more interaction. I met with my high school guidance counselor and I said, hey, is it awful that...
Hey, let's just pause a second. What did you find out? Talk.
Computer?
Ooh, what was I gonna be?
Computer?
Yeah, and you can just draw a picture if you don't know how to spell it. You can write the word computer. Yeah, I was gonna be a computer programmer. Isn't that crazy? Did I change my mind? Am I still a computer programmer? No. Okay.
You work with computers.
Yeah, programmer. All right, let's listen again.
When I changed my mind, I think I really would rather be a teacher. I was worried about my parents being okay with me changing their plans. I love learning, and when I was a kid, I used to play school in my parents' basement. I would have a made-up classroom with kids with crazy names like Minty Green and Sally Socks. Write my own lesson plans and pretend to teach.
Okay, so what was the next question?
She changed her mind because
Why did I change my mind?
you were like a person.
I was a people person.
You were smart.
I was smart. I like to learn. I don't know. Did it say those things or she? Well, I think she's inferring. I don't think I said I was smart, but thank you for that compliment. I didn't want to be stuck behind a,
Computer.
yeah, all day long, not talking to anyone. So I changed my mind. What's the next thing it has us listen for?
She decided to become a teacher.
Let's see if we can get some more information.
I loved acting and being on stage too. Teachers need to be interesting and exciting, and so I thought I could put my dramatic tendencies to use.
What's that mean? I thought I'd put my dramatic tendencies to use.
You're playful.
I was playful. What did I like? What's drama?
Drama.
Acting. I was really good at acting. So why did I change my mind to become a teacher then?
Because teachers kind of like act sometimes.
Ooh, yeah, I like that. Because teachers are kind of like actors and actresses, and I like to do that. Did you hear any other facts of why I wanted to be a teacher? Maybe we'll hear more.
My parents were very understanding, and they were okay with me changing from computer science to teaching.
So Marley asked, were your parents understanding? Like, were they okay with me changing my career? And what did I just say? Were they okay with it? I was really worried they wouldn't be.
The first member of my family to attend college. I graduated with a degree in elementary education, and I could teach grades 1 through 8. I am proud to be a teacher, and I look forward to coming to school.
So Marley asked, how do I feel about being a teacher? I didn't think you could hear that. Is that one of the questions on your paper? Yeah. Okay.
Every day. There's always something new, challenging, and interesting. The best part is that I get to see my students achieve and learn. I dearly love teaching at Park Street and love my 5th graders.
Okay. Can you turn and talk about how to answer that next question?
She like happy, excited to be a teacher.
Yeah, I was. I did feel excitement and I felt happy. What do you think, Gonzalo?
She felt excited to become a teacher because she didn't want to be in front of a screen all day.
Yeah? What do you think how I feel?
Like,
Now that she's a teacher, she feels...
Happy?
I am happy. What did I say that made you think that I was happy?
Because it was your dream to be a teacher.
Okay.
and because we love it to see pictures.
I love to see the 5th graders. Did you guys how she cited the evidence there from the video? Good job. All right, we have one more question. What does it say?
Her advice is...
Her advice is, okay, so I want you to listen. I might back it up a little bit to see what my advice is.
Graders.
What advice would you give to someone choosing a career?
Follow your heart And don't be afraid to change your mind if one fear does not work out.
All right. Turn to your partner and talk about.
How she became a teacher and how she feels about her career choice.
Turn to your partner. What was my advice? What did I say to students that they should do?
Her advice was to follow your heart. If one career doesn't work out, go with another.
If a career doesn't work out, don't be worried.
Don't be worried. Yeah. Follow your what?
Your heart?
Can you really follow your heart?
No.
That's a what? Do you remember?
Idiom.
Idiom. Yeah. But what does it mean if I say follow your heart?
By
Follow your dreams.
Follow your dreams. Do what you love. Okay? All right. So the next step in our lesson today, and you didn't have to fill it out perfectly, these notes are just for you, is now we're ready to do the after listening part. Okay? And we're going to work on summarizing the details. Well, you remember the TVF chart, right? So you don't have to write, but you can just help me out because you're going to be writing and doing your own TVF chart on the next video. So, what was the topic of today? What was today's podcast? What should we call it? Yeah. Okay. Miss Kinney's interview. And then let's look at our verbs. Which one should I circle? Help me read those. Okay. Oh, I could do several. Which one do you guys like? Describes, explains. What do you want?
explains.
Oh, I hear a lot. Okay. What did I explain? Turn and talk. What did I explain?
She explaining how her career was by going to school from changing her mind from being a computer
To be a teacher.
programmer to becoming a
To
teacher.
become a teacher.
Okay.
To become
Okay, I heard a lot of people saying Miss Kinney's interview explains how she became
A teacher.
right. Or did I really tell exactly what I did or how I felt about it? Was I always going to be a teacher?
You summarized it.
I did summarize it. I decided to do what? Change. So I could even say Miss Kinney's interview explains how I decided to what? Become a teacher, or I had decided my career. All right, so what I would do is write it down here, but I don't want to take that time. Let's read the summary together. Miss Kinney's interview, maybe I should say, not I, what should I write there? How she decided to become a teacher. Okay, now we have to react. How did you feel? So, I want you to turn and talk with your partner. You can use these little bubbles like this reminds me of, I felt blank after listening. So, talk to each other. How did you feel about Miss Kinney's interview? But you don't have to use those bubbles, but turn and talk. So let's start with you. How did you feel listening to my interview? Or what did it remind you of?
I feel like happy that you will become a teacher.
Yeah, why?
Because
you think about why. What were you going to say?
The speaker reminds me of
This is harder, isn't it? Think more. Okay, she just said a really good one. She said this makes her feel what? Happy because I became a teacher.
but you love to do your work.
Yeah, it's fun to see somebody love to do something that they care about. I was thinking, I'm happy that I became a teacher. I never meet you. So I'm glad. What did you guys say? Did you come up with anything? What did you say? The speaker reminds me of what? Oh, That wasn't me. That was me. It reminds me of me. Okay. I was a speaker. That's true. All right. We're going to move along, but we could talk about like, hey, did it make you think about something that you might want to do someday?
Yeah.
That could be another connection. So what do you want to do someday? Talk with your partner. Or we don't know yet. Do you know what you want to be when you grow up?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's what I mean. So tell your partner, what do you want to be when you grow up? Doctor?
When I grow up, I want to be a cook.
What?
A cook.
Oh, cook. Oh, yeah. What you guys say?
I want to be a doctor.
Uh-huh.
And I want to be a pro soccer player.
Okay. So I was talking about my career, and so there's an opportunity for you to talk about what you would choose. So that's another way that you could build a connection with the speaker. All right, so we're going to move along now. And you know how Miss Kinney loves the Day of the Dead, right?
Yeah.
This video we're going to watch about is this man and his niece, and they're going to be talking about the topic of the Day of the Dead. Where's Day of the Dead celebrated?
Mexico. Latin American in parts of the
October
U.S.
31 to November 2.
Is Day of the Dead over?
No.
Really, it kind of lives all the time, doesn't it? A lot of people really celebrate it when?
October 31.
Yeah? Uh-huh. All right. So I know you all know what Day of the Dead is. Read that question to me.
What is it?
Do you remember what an altar is?
When
Here, let's let someone else start. Yeah? Do you remember? Do you?
you put something, when you put a picture on it, in food or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Where you put a picture.
And what else? Flowers? Okay, what were you going to say, Gonzala?
And you put their favorite things right into their picture.
Who's the altar for?
The spirits of your families.
What? That? Yes?
And for the dead people.
Was that what you were going to say? Okay, good. You guys know what an altar is, and there's an example of one. It's Latin, too, for table. What does it mean to translate? To repeat?
To repeat in other languages.
To repeat in another language. Good job, both of you. So the person takes the words from one language and says it to another. Have you ever had to translate for someone, Wendy?
No.
Who do you translate for in class?
My mom.
Isn't there someone new that you help with the Spanish and you translate? Yeah, you do. Have you ever before? Raise your hand if you've ever translated from Spanish to English. I know you have because you translate back and forth with Genesis all the time for me to me. So you tell me what you explain to her in Spanish what I'm asking. Yeah, have you? All right, awesome. Okay. What is a paramedic?
A paramedic is like a doctor.
Like a doctor? Anybody else? Oh, like they're in the ambulance? Good. So, yes, these are paramedics. You're going to hear about that in our podcast we're going to listen to. A person trained to give you emergency medical care. Okay. What is saran wrap? I know that's a crazy question. Do you know what that is?
Saran wrap is like wrapping paper.
It's like a wrap. Look at it now. What is the wrap used for?
To put over food.
Right. Now, there's a brand called Saran, but in the video, she talks, or in the audio podcast, she talks about saran wrap. So I want you to know that she puts this over, because do they put food on the altar ever?
It's like you put every single thing that they like. Not everything, but...
Yeah, you even put their food, right? So they put some of her favorite food, this lady that died, on the altar, and they cover it with this. They talk about it in the audio. Okay, we already talked about what it means to share personal experiences. So we're about to listen to this video. It kind of makes me a little bit sad, but yet it makes me happy. I just wanted to give you a warning. Before we listen to it, I'm going to pass out some papers. We're going to listen to it more than once, Okay, here's all the papers that you're going to need for today, for this part. You could put the Miss Kinney's thing aside. And I'm going to have you do a little bit more yourself this time with your partner. But the first time we listened to it, we just listened to it for what? We listened to it for the gist, which is, we listened to it for the first time just to find out what it's all about. And remember I said we should always look at the caption, right? So, look at this picture. What do you see?
A statue.
Yeah. Can you read the caption? Caesar Viverus in front of his altar in Philadelphia. So he must make a lot of Day of the Dead altars. It says, Caesar Viverus, help me read that, and his wife Anna Giselle Palma set out to document Day of the Dead altars in South Philadelphia. What does that mean they documented them?
Interview?
You might have interviewed people? What do you think?
Wait, I was gonna say something else.
What were you going to say?
The animal on his shirt is called a legacy.
Ooh, what's that?
It's like a dead animal.
Okay. So they go around and they looked at other people's altars and took pictures of them. So they really loved Day of the Dead. He and his wife did this. But then, read this to me. 2 years into the project, Anna became sick and passed away just before Day of the Dead, leaving Caesar to finish the project on his own. He came to StoryCorps with his niece, Kathy Lopez, to honor her. So who do you think some of the talkers are going to be, or the speakers, I'm sorry, in this podcast?
The man and his niece.
Man and his niece? Is that what you were going to say? Okay. So first time, go ahead and listen to it. You can write notes, like you can put like who, the position is like job, like the husband or whatever. There might be 3 people that are talked about in the podcast.
Family members?
Yep, they're family members.
Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead, is a Latin American holiday celebrated across the U.S., where people remember their loved ones by creating altars in their honor. Artist Cesar Viveros and his wife, Ana Giselle Palma, spent years documenting altars in South Philadelphia's Mexican and Central American community. That is, until Ana became suddenly ill and died in 2018, shortly before the Day of the Dead. Cesar came to StoryCorps with his niece, Kathy Lopez, to honor her.
How did you feel when you found out that Anna was sick?
She told me that she had a pain, and they told us that she got cancer. And for 2 years, it was a constant fear of losing, because that's the only way you can describe that. You will lose or you will win.
I do remember this one time that I was with my cousin, and I think we went into your room and we grabbed some of the makeup that she had, and I remember her walking in, and she wasn't upset. She told us how to put it on, what's too much, what's too little. She was sick, but it was like a nice little moment between the 3 of us.
What do you remember from the day she died?
Okay, let's pause there. He just said, what do you remember from the day he died? What have you learned so far? Talk with your partner how you're going to fill out your sheet, like the who's.
I have learned that her.
Okay, who was in the video or podcast? Kathy? Okay. Okay, you can write her name, Kathy. Who else was in the video? Caesar. And here's a word bank if you need help with words. I forgot to say that. So you can list the names of the people.
Can I put the name?
Yep. Can you put the names? And their names are on here if you need help reading it.
Lopez.
Yep. That's right. Yes, Kathy Lopez. Good job looking at the caption. Who's the other person? Caesar? Who was he?
Husband.
The husband? So do you see where your arrow goes? So this is Katie. Katie was the who? Who's Katie? The niece. And niece is on your paper too. So
Wait, what's his name though?
his name? What was his name? What's the man's name?
I'm lost.
Caesar. Oh, don't be lost. Caesar, right there. So you write his name there. Okay, there's 3 spots for names. And then, yeah, help each other. So who was she? Kathy. She was niece. You can write niece there. Okay, she's got Kathy niece. Now you're writing Caesar. Who are you going to write across from Caesar?
Husband.
Husband? Oh, I don't think I wrote husband on the paper. Right there. Yeah, help her spell husband. Oh, husband. H-U. Anybody need husband?
Yeah.
All right, how do you think we spell it? What do you got so far, Daphne?
U-S-A-B-C-A-N-D.
Uh-huh.
Oh. I thought I was wrong.
You got it. You need to believe in yourself. So we got Katie, Caesar, husband. Now the other person doesn't speak, but they talk about her. Who is it? Anna. Who was she?
The wife.
The wife. How do I spell wife?
W-I-F-E.
Good.
I was going to be like, isn't that Wi-Fi?
Okay, so we're gonna play a little bit more, and then I want see where there's a what column. You can list what is going on there, like what are they talking about, or you could write. You don't have to fill every box in, or down below it says this podcast talks about. So after you listen to it, you might want to work on that, or you can do it while you're listening. Let's continue on.
Remember that I was scared because I never experienced a death in the family, but I was called out to translate for the paramedics, and I didn't know that that role existed of being so strong for somebody.
When she died, I could see her face was so relaxed, almost like a smile. That moment, I felt like unable to move, even unable to think. And then it was day of the death.
But because of her, we knew how to make a traditional altar, and when we had to do one for her at home, we had her favorite soup. And when we woke up, my mom was like, "Katy, mira." And then we looked at the soup, and the soup went down. We checked the saran wrap, and it was perfectly sealed the same way that we left it. And we had that warm feeling of knowing that she actually did stop by.
I want to believe that she's coming for these 2 days, and I want to impress her with all this.
Okay, turn and talk. What stuff did you just hear? What did you learn? Talk to your partner. You go first. What else did they talk about?
So they feel like
How they felt about what? When she died? What about you, Gonzalo? What'd you learn?
I learned that there's a lot of pressure when somebody of your family that doesn't speak English dies.
Okay, there's a lot of pressure when someone dies. What'd you guys talk about? What'd you talk about? What'd you learn so far in the video?
people are heartbroken when
They are heartbroken.
someone dies in their life.
What did you think? What did you think about it? What happened? She did die.
When she died, they don't can believe that she died.
They could hardly believe. Yeah, it's. I know it goes with me. Come over here, because I was over there. So You guys made some very good comments. Remember, we're just listening to it for the first time, so you're just kind of getting the idea of it. Okay, let's finish up.
Romerito, la flor de muerto, and food, chocolatito, chile relleno. There is a picture that I would like to put on the altar. It's a picture of her when she was younger, and it says, as long as you remember me, I will be eternal. Mientras me recuerden, viviré por siempre.
All right. So the first time we just got the idea of it. They were interviewing. Who were the people in the interview? Right? And what were they mostly talking about?
The death of Anna.
The death of Anna, okay. And the things that they felt. I heard you say that. What else? They talked about making for her. What'd they make for her? They made an altar.
Her favorite soup
Mm-hmm.
and a rose of his dead.
Yeah. All right, we're going to do one more part today because this is taking longer than Miss Kinney planned. We might do a third part together with, I might do it later with you. You have a choice then for this last part. So we're going to listen to the details, and I want you can use the open-ended sheet and write the answers to the details, or you can take your own notes. You can choose to do either. You can do this one or the open-ended one. You can put extra notes on here. Your choice. So turn and talk to your partners. Look over your open-ended sheets. Read your questions so you know kind of what you're listening for.
Heartbroken.
That's good. A simile for heartbroken? My heart was broken like a...
No. Is this like a simile?
Oh, is it a simile? It depends how it's used in the sentence. Yeah, your heart. Yeah, it could be either a simile or a metaphor. It depends how it's used. Good question. Okay, so I'm going to play the video again, and we are going to listen to it a second time. I know, it does make me kind of sad. Does it make you sad too? I know. Okay, so we're going to play it, oh my goodness, a second time. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Was sick with cancer?
Yeah, she did. She died of cancer. So sad. I know Gonzalo went to leave, but here's some pictures of him. He's actually an artist, and he made all of these murals.
For his wife?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to pause my video for just a second while Gonzalo's gone. Let me see if I can pause it. Okay. We've listened to the video a second time, got some more notes. So what I want you to do now is to write your summary. Eventually what you're going to do is you're going to get to record it on Flipgrid. If we don't have time today, I'm going to show you how to record it later. You've probably never done Flipgrid before. Well, you're going to make your own podcast with the summary. You just get to read it, and you get to share your feelings and your personal connections. So go ahead, you can work together to do your TVF. So T stands for what? Title. So think about a podcast. I've got different papers.
So
the title. What do you talk together? What are you going to write?
So do we put the title is this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, I got the title right there. Look at that.
Amor interno, remembering.
Oh, I like this. She's already got her son. Read yours. Caesar and Kathy's interview explains when
Anna.
Wait, how do you say this last
When
name?
Anna died for cancer.
what?
When Anna died for cancer.
Oh, write that down there now. So copy Caesar and Kathy's interview. Let's add apostrophe S. Explains when Anna died for cancer. We need a letter on the end of it. Did she just die or did she die in the past?
She died in the past.
So we need to add in D. So copy that there. Good, all right?
Explains when
What do you got so far?
amor
I'm trying remembering.
eterno.
Okay, which verb are you going to pick? Explains. Okay, so you can circle it. Then over here explains what happened. Okay, what do you have so far, Caesar? All right.
Explains how
What happened?
feel.
How they felt about what?
About Anna when Anna Giselle died.
Yeah, that's great. Get rid of that because you have that right there, so you don't have to repeat explains there. Remember? So it goes the title, blah blah blah, explains when, and then what?
When
What's the big
how,
idea?
How the person feels.
And how the first person feels about what?
When
Okay, are you done? Okay, can you read to your partner what you wrote, and then you can share what you wrote. Okay, what do you got so far? You got the title, impacts their what?
Death of Anna.
Oh, okay.
Just that I wrote it here instead of here.
Okay, so read the whole thing. Caesar and Kathy
Talk about the death of Anna impacts their life.
let's change, you know what, you can change this verb. Instead of impacts, we could write, what's that?
Impacting.
Can you copy that whole thing down there in order so that you can, okay, a lot of you did your TVF. Anybody want to share theirs out? Go for it.
can I read that?
Yep, read the whole thing.
Amor eterno, remembering Anna Giselle, explains when how they feel when Anna Giselle died.
Okay, what's yours?
Can you create this?
Yeah, I can. Let me hear hers, and then I'll come right back. What's yours?
Susan and Kate interview explain when in the day for cancer.
Okay, good. And then did you read yours to me already? All right, I'm going to help Daphne, but while I'm helping Daphne, I want you to think about your personal connection. So do you see your sticky note? You can pick your favorite bubble statement, like the speaker reminds me of, my family remembers our loved ones by, like, what do you do to remember any loved ones that have died? Have you ever made any altars?
Yeah, I mean,
All right. How did you feel after listening to this? How did you feel? It was sad, but I felt encouraged because what did they do that made you feel?
They kept going on.
Yeah, they kept going on. So you can use any of these, and I want you to write your personal connection on your sticky note. You can use any of those. You guys can share, or you can write your own thought of how you feel. You don't have to use these.
All
right.
Can I change color?
Yeah. All right. So what do you have so far? Can you read it to me?
Amor eterno, remembering Anna Giselle.
Explains when.
When
That's good. How they felt when Anna died. Is that what you wanted to write? Did you want to say something different?
Mm-hmm.
You don't like that? Well, talk to me. What do you want to say?
how they felt.
That's fine, because that's what you had. How did they feel? Hey, what was some of the notes that you took? Is there any notes that you could use? How they felt what? Sad? What adjective did you write there? Ooh, you could say that. When did they feel heartbroken? Yeah, so you could say, explains when Anna what? You could put 2 sentences. Explains when. Or you don't have to have the word when. Maybe that's what's tripping you up. Explains, and then how they felt. That you don't have to have both.
Can I put like because?
Yes, I felt sad after listening because. All right, so pick your personal connection now. So how did it make you feel?
Because you remember it.
Okay.
It made me remember something, like from my family.
Yeah, did it remind you of a death in your family? Aw, I'm sorry to hear that. What did you put?
I felt sad after listening to Sizzle and Kate explain how Anna died.
Okay. That's the feelings that you felt. That's the connection you made. Okay, good. All right, many of you are busy writing your connections. We're going to come back to that and let you continue, and then I'm going to let you get on Flipgrid. But before we do, let's close it out and review. Did you summarize main points today? Yes, you all summarized main points today. Did you find any key details in any of the videos that you listened to? Did you do that today? Did we take notes? Did you write your key details? You did. Did you share about how you felt? You did today. So you did you met all of my objectives today. So let's do the 1-1 review. What's one thing you learned today? Anybody want to share one thing they learned? Yeah. Yeah, you have to keep going on. Anybody else? How about one thing you want to learn more about?
How they're doing?
I would like to know how they're doing. Like, did that artist draw more pictures? Did they do more altars? Anybody else have anything? How about one thing you liked about today? What's one thing you liked about today? Yeah.
How they still have her in their heart.
How they still have her in her heart? What about you? Are you going to say something? Okay, I'm going to end the video there, but I'm going to show you guys later on how to upload your summary and your personal statement to Flipgrid so that you all can hear it. All right, thank you so much, friends.